Welcome to your program of choice, Health Affair on AIT. It is a platform where we focus on public health issues, challenges of women and children, with the aim of providing lasting solutions. I am your regular anchor, Ushomowa Daniels. On this week's edition of the program, we're looking at Buruli ULCER, which will be the last of our series of neglected tropical diseases. We start right away after the news segment.
One passenger, big auntie. Come and enter my bus now.
Hey, conductor, this cough is serious. I beg, you need to go to the hospital.
Hospital? Auntie, if I go hospital now with this cough, those people will just say I have COVID-19.
No, they won't. Doctors say cough symptoms are different in every condition. Some are dry, others are wet, like your own.
God bless you, auntie. I have told this my conductor. The cough has refused to go, and it could be tuberculosis.
Conductor, check am o. Make you dey sure, because who no go, no go, no.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
Check am o, make you dey sure.
If your cough is more than 2 weeks, it could be tuberculosis. TB tests and TB treatment are free. Just call the National TB Hotline on 3340 for information on where to get the test. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Health with support from the American people.
A foundation is relevant to give the main structure a strong base to build upon. The Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, built on a solid foundation of excellence, has produced several international award winners, many captains of industries, and uninterrupted production of pharmaceutical manpower for 50 years. As the alumni members prepare for their Golden Jubilee celebration slated for March 31st to April 3rd, 2022, with the setting up of a foundation which will anchor an endowment fund for the faculty, they are hopeful that their tradition of excellence will bring about a new vista which will usher in an era of quality infrastructure and a more conducive atmosphere for learning and research.
Endowment funds are the solutions to most of the funding problems of universities or higher institutions. We are sure to get one going from this landmark anniversary. Amongst the many great reasons to celebrate this event is the rarity of Golden Jubilee celebrations, witnessed mainly or chiefly once in a lifetime. The second one becomes the centenary, the second Golden Jubilee. I don't know who has done it twice. So this is a once in a lifetime event, and we are very particular about this. It's a turning point for us and for our faculty.
Several 50 years is something to celebrate, but more importantly is what happens after that. And I'll end by saying that the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences is an uncommon faculty anywhere in the world because it's producing pharmacists. And pharmacists, like you know, are custodians of medicines that we all take. And medicines, like you know, are the bedrock of the healthcare system. And so we are not just celebrating a faculty, we are asking question, how do we strengthen the healthcare system of the country and of the continent? Knowing that the faculty is the takeoff point. This is where it all starts. So it is something we want Nigerians to be interested in. It is something we want Nigerians to participate in how to build a faculty that would live stronger in the next 50 years and beyond.
We have very rich curricula, which we keep updating. Many of our staff are widely traveled. You know, many of our professors have done cutting-edge research, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. So we keep updating our curriculum to meet global standards. You know, so we have a crop of academic staff that can hold their head high anywhere in the world. People who have researched in best of labs in the world. We also have a strong department of pharmaceutical microbiology and biotechnology, and vaccine production is also part of what we train our students, what we train our students on. So I actually take pride in claiming that the excellence you've seen all around, like the examples given, those in community pharmacy practice, in hospital pharmacy practice, of course, couldn't have been possible without a good, solid foundation. Our alumni participate in the four major practice areas of pharmacy, which is academia, hospital pharmacy, community pharmacy, my boss, industrial pharmacy, two of them, and also myself, industrial pharmacy practice. So we have made our mark, and it's not just that we are there, but we try excellence. So we are proud of it. Okay, we have many others who are not here, who are there. So the point is not just that you have products, but that they are adding value and they are top notch wherever they are. Okay, it's just to use that to say that when we say we have produced 5,000 people, it's not just 5,000 people. There is quality, not 5,000. We have many others who are outside Nigeria. Like in that speech, you hear that we have had presidents from our alumni of the Nigerian Association of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Pharmacists and Pharmaceutical Scientists in the Americas. So in the diaspora, yes, NAFSA, we have had our members who are present. We have a lot of our members who own retail chains in the US, okay, and other parts of the world. So it's a great joy that we are celebrating this 50th anniversary, and like the Dean has said, when we recount all of this, it makes us happy.
All of us know that the funding from government cannot fund education. School fees cannot fund education. That calls for intervention of alumni. And this is part of what we are going to do in this celebration to lay foundation.
Part of activities to mark the Golden Jubilee celebration includes an anniversary lecture to be delivered by the DG of NAFDAC, Professor Moji Adeyeye, an annual general meeting of the Alumni Association, a fundraising dinner, amongst others.
The celebration will afford us the opportunity to network amongst ourselves, interact with the faculty board, students, strengthen the Alumni Association, and raise funds to support projects in the faculty.
I'm excited and I've been calling people to be there so we can see what is on ground now. And that will motivate most of us to want to do something back, give back to the society, to the faculty for the upcoming pharmacies that will be trained.
The Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, University of Nsukka, UNN, was established in 1970.
See the glass what they present for me, what they give me today. I thank God. God will bless everybody with this Lion Club of Ikeja, unique Lion Club of Ikeja. God bless them.
I had a problem in my eyes. Sometimes last year I went to the hospital, one general hospital, Uganda to be precise. So the doctor that saw me that day tried to examine my eyes and told me that I have a kind of a glaucoma growing. I said glaucoma. They said okay, I should go for test. So last year they gave me glasses. So I started using the glasses. So the glasses lost, I think, either July or August last year. Since then, I've not been using the glasses. So my notice that my eyes since then, even the drugs they gave me there, I finished. I tried to buy another one. I couldn't see it in the market. So the eyes were just deteriorating. I don't know. I can't even to even come out on the sun was a problem. So one of my friends posted this information about Lions Club helping people on the platform. Immediately I just started, and she said, if you are interested, you should chat her up.
For those who have a heart of giving and rendering service to humanity, like members of Lions Club International, nothing can be as touching to the soul when you see people happy and grateful because of your action. For this site restoration event by the Ikeja Unique Lions Club, several people were screened, out of which 30 were identified as needing intervention.
We decided as a club to come around here to Anzila High Hospital to partner with them to see how they can be of help by doing screening and treatment for patients that have been identified. They have undergone several phases of treatment for their eyes. Some of them, like you must have seen in the testimonial, they can see clearly better now, and they have seen improvement in their eyes. So, and that's what we are committed to doing as a Lions Club, because that's one of our global causes, 5 global causes that Lions Club is committed to. Vision is one of them, and that's what we have demonstrated today. If we are to look at the cost, it's well over 500,000 that we have spent today, and it's something that is of joy to us, because that is what we as Lions have passion to do.
2 of them had cataract surgeries, and the ones we saw today needed some glasses too. So those are the 2 that came out. I think altogether about 6 of them had some serious medical eye issues, which the club have already paid for.
If you don't have sight, virtually you can't do anything. So one should feel for anybody who have visual impediment or who is maybe undergoing one challenge or the other. You know, at this stage, it is still corrective. You can correct some sight defects. We don't pray for somebody to totally go blind before we start running towards looking for a solution. So I think what we've been able to do, Lions Club has championed the establishment of a lot of eye centers all around Nigeria.
President of Ikeja Unique Lions Club, Lion Adetunji Oriyomi, used the opportunity to admonish people on the need to care for their eyes.
Every one of us must try as much as possible to take care of our eyes, because you know, when you cannot see, then it's a big factor. So the eyes is a major part of the body. It controls several other organs of the body as well. So I would advise people to take care of their eyes as you know, as much as they can. When they discover that there's any form of changes, they should go to the hospital and seek early medical attention.
Ikeja Unique Lions Club is one of the most vibrant Lions Club in Southwest region, truly representing what Lions Club International stands for, that is serving humanity in various capacity and fostering the spirit of understanding among people of the world. In the last 4 months, Ikeja Unique Lions Club has carried out numerous activities to beautify the environment, to reduce hunger, provide succor for children with cancer, and the latest being restoration of sight to those who cannot afford to do it themselves.
Life is sacred. Defend it. Life is sacred. Defend it.
Placards bearing different inscriptions, such as "Say No to Abortion," premarital sex and drug abuse, the Pro-Life League arm of St. Dennis Catholic Church, Akoka Bariga in Lagos, marched around strategic places in the metropolis to preach against termination of life.
Telling a message to the whole world, the message about the sacredness of the human life, that the human life is sacred, belongs to God, from the moment of conception in the womb to the moment of death. We're also advocating today, and as always, especially as the Catholic Church always advocates, that every human person should be treated with dignity, with all the rights accruing of a human person. We're also decrying today every form of drug abuse.
No one has the monopoly to kill anyone. No matter the condition you find yourself, you must give life to that baby you are carrying. Not just only pregnancy, we're also against suicide. We're also against mercy killing, because we believe that God is the owner of life. He's the one that created life, and He gives us life to live. So we don't have the power to take another person's life. Majority of the things that causes abortion is premarital sex. When a young girl, or maybe married women, when you engage in sex, and at the end of the day the pregnancy occurs, the next thing they think of is to go for an abortion. And so many of them thought abortion is the safest way to live, but it's a lie. The doctors who are carrying those abortions will not tell you the truth. Sometimes they will tell them it's just ordinary blood, but they are human beings because life begins at conception. Immediately a man and woman meet, life begins immediately and it becomes life. So when they go for an abortion, they terminate the baby that they are carrying. And in doing so, you have murdered someone. So that's one of them. Then also, some people also believe in contraception. Yes, when you take contraceptives, it kills, damages your womb. You know, as a young girl, a guy will tell you, oh, just take pills now, pills after sex, and you take it before you know it, it will damage your womb. Tomorrow the guy will leave you and go and marry another person, and the young lady will be at the losing end. And we also got information that it's just alleged that our minister is planning to move a bill for abortion to be legalized. We said abortion is illegal. It's still illegal in Nigeria, and we must not encourage abortion at all costs.
There are actually different causes of abortion. First is maybe if the person that got you pregnant doesn't want the child, and you as a lady, you don't have the money to take care of the child. So you might be seeking for other options than like abortion. Then secondly, maybe if there's no assistance from your parents, and you as a lady too, you don't have anything doing, so you might want to commit abortion. So those are the things that most especially is financial. If you don't have any financial assistance, so you might be looking for other options.
No matter your age, no matter your group you belong to, no abortion. Consequences of abortion: one, you have offended God. Okay, you have committed a sin. Like I told them when we were walking about, I said, once you do that, you are a murderer. Means you have murdered somebody who is grown up in your womb. And God has, until you confess, if you are a Christian and you confess and you say, I'm done this and done that, then God can forgive you. But if you don't, and most of the time you discover that they do the first one, they do the second one, they do the third one, it is painful to see adults, people now grow up, they don't have children. Because the children they are supposed to have, God has planned for them, they have aborted when they were.
The parishioners also cautioned against every form of gender-based violence.
We're also decrying today every form of violence against the human person, especially the female gender. The state should rise up more firmly against every form of violence against human life, starting from rape, every form of banditry, every form of oppression. The state, the church, and everyone should stand out very more firmly to denounce it.
The Pro-Life League March for Life has been on for over 15 years.
Cerebral palsy is a congenital disorder of movement, muscle, tone, or posture. This condition is due to abnormal brain development, often before birth. More than 100,000 cases of cerebral palsy are recorded in Nigeria every year, and most of these people are often stigmatized for a disorder that is no fault of theirs. It is to create the necessary awareness for people to treat them with love that informed the Cerebral Palsy Awareness Walk by Magnificent Therapy around Yaba and environs with the theme, CP no because.
Cerebral palsy, most of them, they find it difficult, they don't have a good posture, they can't walk well, they walk and drag one leg, or the two heels are not together. They have intellectual disabilities, some of them have intellectual disability, and others, they find it difficult to swallow, they find it difficult to write, to read and write. So most challenges are very, very peculiar. They can be helped, although it's a congenital abnormality. It comes with before birth. They had it inbuilt with them. So when they come out to access care, they can, through therapy, they can be helped. Through occupational therapy, yes, we can help them, and they can be useful. They can do something, and with physical activity, physical exercise, they can move. And with some drugs like a muscle relaxant, it can help them, and the muscle will be easy to move, to have good movements.
Well, basically, this is a client call for people that are living, that they find themselves in a situation that they cannot even define. It's so pathetic that a child will come to this world, and between the age of 3 and 5, he has a permanent problem that the medical world have not been able to find solution to. And that does not give us the right to kill such a soul. So we can just continue to embark on therapy, to encourage them. Those that find them with their family, it's always an eyesore. It's because when you look at it, it's not the making of that child. And these are things that he has to live with throughout the entire of his life. So I believe that very soon the medical world, because there was a time I knew quite alright that malaria kills people. Even in the colonial days, the British, when they came to Nigeria, they have a problem with malaria and some of them died. But today, you treat malaria on your own. So I believe there will be a time hope will come for these people and a solution will come.
People living cerebral palsy and other mental challenges like autism, Prader-Willi syndrome, anybody living with disability, they need to just show them love, special care, and not run away from them or make them feel they don't belong in the society.
It's an aspect of disability, developmental disability, that need cares. And Nigeria, Lagos State, is joining other members of the world to celebrate them.
Often, a lot of people who do not live with disabilities do not remember that they are just one step away from living with disabilities. People who wear glasses do not even know that they are living with disabilities. We have people who are hard of hearing or people who are deaf. We have people who have total blindness, legal blindness, or the people who, have different forms of issues, myopia, conjunctivitis. The list is endless. And we have learning disabilities, something I grew up with, where we ignorantly will be referring to some people as Olodo. One, we didn't know that some of them were living with dyslexia. Some people have numerical issues. Some people have issues with arithmetic. Some people have just issues with reading and writing. So the widest and the most important push for this cause and many other causes is to enforce people to show empathy. Go beyond empathy and also getting yourself equipped with information. Understanding that there are people, whether you have children or you yourself are living with disability, who have continued to thrive in the different areas that they have chosen to, regardless of and in spite of our realities. So my biggest hope is that we'll continue to push and encourage people that do not hide your children or wards in the house. Bring them out, get exposed, interact with many other people, because people do not even know that there are so many people around them who have children or wards living with disability. And I'm sure that Magnificent are hopeful that people will come on board and support them and continue to push the cause, as well as the Lagos State Office of Disability Affairs.
The event provided an opportunity to highlight the needs and where society can be of help.
The first challenge they face is care. They need more care, more love. That's the first challenge. The second challenge is finance from the parents, because it takes a lot of money from the parents. It takes a lot of financial, drain them financially, because as the child grows, the assisted materials have to be changed. So because it's damage of the brain, brain disability, paralysis of the brain. So when the brain is shut down, definitely all the nervous system is shut down. They can't move their hands, they can't move their legs. So the child in question doesn't have neck control, hand control, leg control. So it means that the child cannot control his body because the brain has been damaged. So basically the neurons of the brain is not working.
I had fever, and of course we just assume fever is usually just malaria. I initially used unbranded anti-malaria. I felt, the drug was not strong enough, so I used the branded ones and then some antibiotics, but I was still not fine. The truth is, because there was a time I had a meeting with the CIHP and some people, and we were talking about raising the index of suspicion for tuberculosis. I barely coughed. I used the branded ones and then some antibiotics, but I was still not fine. I barely coughed.
In the heat of COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, Dr. Tolulokpe Akinkunmi battled severe health challenges. Unknown to her was the fact that she was actually battling tuberculosis. Like Tolulokpe, the lack of awareness and asymptomatic nature that TB presents sometimes underscores the need for more awareness on the disease and improved testing to change the narrative that puts Nigeria as 7th in the world among countries with highest burden of tuberculosis.
It does not respect your age. On a yearly basis, we have 444,000 new cases, people being infected newly, not old ones, being infected newly. Now you ask me, where are they? Those ones are in the communities, in the urban slums, in hard-to-reach areas.
Because it's a state with a very high population, a mega city, this is the kind of state where things like TB will thrive, because we have a lot of people coming in and staying in slum areas because they know no one in Lagos. So it's something we take very seriously.
Caused by a bacteria known as Mycobacterium, tuberculosis is transmitted when an infected person sneezes out droplets, and such drops are inhaled by another person. Common symptoms that could be noticed include fever, loss of appetite, weight loss, fatigue, and night sweats.
Parents should try as much as possible to come out, to know their status, to come out to seek for more awareness, to seek for more knowledge, to change their perception about tuberculosis, and to make sure they make themselves available as often as possible to check themselves. Once
you have any symptom, try to go to the hospital and then check yourself. Diagnosis is free. Treatment for TB in Lagos State and also in Nigeria is free.
March 24th every year was designated by the World Health Organization to build awareness about TB and its devastating health, social, and economic impact on people. The theme for the year 2022 is Invest to End Tuberculosis.
Figures from the World Health Organization, the International Diabetes Federation, and the 2017 United Nations report puts Nigeria as one of the 48 countries in sub-Saharan Africa that are currently groaning under the rising prevalence of diabetes mellitus. Over 6 million Nigerians are said to be living with diabetes, a figure expected to double by 2030. What makes the situation even more worrisome is the comorbidity of hypertension. Diabetes and hypertension are the commonest diseases affecting human race, with a lot of life-threatening complications. Unfortunately, these two diseases are associated with the elderly, especially in Nigeria, thereby making children who are also exposed to this condition suffer in silence. It is to change this narrative that the Pamela Iweze Kingdom Children Foundation medical intervention to rural communities was birthed.
So when a child frequently have different conditions, or you are presenting or you are going to the hospital almost every time, one of the things we are here to impute into us is that call the doctor's attention. Can you please do the BP of this child? Can you please do the sugar of this child? That could be where the issue is. So that is one of those things we have come to address today. A child can have hypertension. A child can have diabetes. But because if a child moves about, roaming about, his BP is high, but he's not presenting, that is one of those things. We call it asymptomatic. He rarely presents with conditions. But by the time they are presenting with conditions, it is on the high side. We call it severe. It is now turning to something that can result to an emergencies. The child comes home telling you almost every day is complaining of headache. Something is wrong. He comes home, or eventually maybe at the end of the term, you find out that this child is not assimilating. Almost every time, it is out of 20 people in the class, he is the one that is taking number 15, number 17. It could be that his brain is functioning less. Blood supply to the brain is reducing. It could also be an hypertensive condition. It could also be a diabetic condition.
Realizing that children cannot thrive without their parents, adults in Liberty community in Ojodu area of Lagos State, Nigeria, also benefited from the program through free screening and treatment.
But we realized that because of the schedule of the city, a lot
So people don't have time for their health. So that's why we are here at this community, so that they can check their blood sugar and also to know the level of their diabetes and all that. That's why we are here. It's free. All what we are doing here today is free. We are not taking money from anybody. And you can see from the canopy behind you, we have a lot of people who are waiting, and many people have already come. They have seen the doctor and the technician, and the doctor has prescribed some drugs for them, and they have done tests for them.
Community should come to our aid. Is that government should come to our aid? Is either they come through NGO or either they come direct. Whichever way they come, fine, it will help us.
Many of them have been sick before they can even climb this step to go out to go and check themselves or to look for what they to do. Many things has happened here, as in like tragedy. Many people, even women, pregnant women, will just faint. Many things has happened in this community. But to God be the glory. This wonderful opportunity just come to us free of charge, just like that.
The program provides an opportunity for awareness on different types of diabetes, the need for regular exercise and medical check.
Diabetes. There's something we call type 2 diabetes. Diabetes on its own means that once your sugar is too much in the blood, something is wrong. Everybody has sugar in our blood system, which is one of those fuels that keeps us going. But when it is getting too much in excess, then something is wrong. It will result to a lot of things. Like, let's take for example now, the white blood cells in the body system are more or less like the police of the body system. But sometimes when this white blood system have gotten too fat in terms of sugar, you can't expect me to be this big and I want to chase a criminal that is on the road. You understand? Before I get there, the criminal has already gone. That is the same thing in our body system. The white blood cell fights infections in our body system. But by the time they are now getting too fat with sugar, we call them lazy cells. They are lazy. So every now and then the child falls sick. Every now and then you are also falling sick, even as an adult. The first thing we think of is malaria and typhoid, not the sugar part of it. Early in the morning we check your sugar system and we find out that it is more than 126. There's some more than 25 because 26 is the benchmark. Anything greater than 126 you've not eaten in the morning, early in the morning, between 8 and 10 or 11, and we found out that your sugar is greater than that value, which is diabetic. However, we always encourage that your sugar should be between the range of 80 and 100.
We should take time to check our health status all the time. We should not allow the activities or what is going on in the city or the situation of the city to overwhelm us without checking our health status, because it can lead to something we won't be able to control at the end of the day. In any community, no matter how small they may be, they should have an health center so that these people will have access to it and be able to have this kind of opportunity we are giving to them today.
It is a common thing, especially in Lagos. Lagos is a stressful environment. 6 a.m., 5 a.m. we are off home. We are not back home until maybe 11. You eat your breakfast on the road. Your dinner sometimes meets you on the road. You understand? So healthy life is one of those factors that we can use to correct these conditions.
Increased risk of type 2 diabetes has been linked with high consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages.
Oga Panel Bita, na kawo mota ta ne a tayar da duk wata komada a jikinta.
Ni da yara na za mu kera miki motar nan.
Amma wannan tarin naka, wannan mataki ka ɗauka a kansa.
Oga baya son ya je asibiti don wai kar a ce da shi yana da cutar corona.
Tari alama ce ta cututtuka da dama, har da tarin fuka. Ta hanyar yin gwaji ne kawai za a iya bambancewa.
Na fi sati biyu ina fama da tari.
Ba wani abun tsoro a ciki. Ni kaina na yi gwajin tarin a baya. Domin magance wannan tarin naka, lalle ka je a maka gwaji.
Gaskiya oga ka je a duba ka.
Domin wanda bai je ba zai sani ba.
A bincike tarin nan dan ai maganinsa.
A bincike shi fa domin mu tabbatar.
Duk wanda ke tari har sama da sati biyu zai iya zama alamu ne na tarin fuka. Gwajin cutar tarin fuka da kula da mai cutar duka kyauta ne. Ku kira layin kula da cutar tarin fuka ta ƙasa a lamba kamar haka: 334 domin samun ƙarin bayani akan inda za a yi gwajin. Wannan saƙo ne daga ma'aikatar kula da lafiya ta ƙasa da tallafin mutanen Amurka.
It's a bacterial infection of the skin and soft tissues. It is endemic in the tropical areas, in West Africa and in Australia. In Nigeria, about 500 cases are recorded annually. We have with us Dr. Anyike Chukwuma, who has been with us throughout the series. What is Buruli ulcer? What is the situation in Nigeria? Is it treatable? Is it curable?
Buruli ulcer is it's an infection that also has to do with the skin, the cutaneous tissue sometimes affects the bones. It's caused by Mycobacterium ulcerans. So, and it's very prevalent amongst the people in the rural areas where you have stagnant water. In fact, it's been fingered that, there are some insects, in those water that could, or maybe in those environments that could, maybe a little scratch that can penetrate your skin. Sometimes you may even have a wound, and if it's exposed to that bacteria, it can trigger it. So we have noticed that, in the country, it's majorly around the riverine areas. Akwa Ibom State, Bayelsa, all those, Cross River State, Anambra State, around that River Niger and that. So, but the work we have done is that it is increasing the number of states. Nigeria has a lot of river bodies, water bodies. So, it's coming up. So when it enters the skin, it starts growing. Another thing there is that if it gets a secondary bacterial infection, it becomes very troublesome. It can eat up the skin, eat up the muscles, eat up the bones, may enter the bones. And if it gets to the third stage, it comes up with contracture. It's majorly found along the limbs, the lower limbs and the upper limbs. The lower limbs around 62% or 64% around the lower limbs, because they're the ones that are very closer. Then I think the upper limb 20%. Then it can affect other parts of the body, the neck, and so most of the times the cases come late at the third stage. It's the same misconception. They will think that some other person has done them juju. Yes. You understand me? It can come with a small scrap. You scratch it. Starts with a small time. It becomes a very big wound. You will see some people with very gaping wounds, weeping wounds. If you look at it, you may not want to eat anything that looks like meat. So most of them come, at the third degree with contracture. If it's on the leg, this leg, we bend it. The other one can be bent like this. And so what do we do? What we do is to control the wound. And if it has gotten so deep, the surgeons will now do the plastic surgery, maybe cut from the skin from this other part of the body and do the other part. And it grows to get well. But because the awareness and the misconception is another big issue. So people come late after you have gotten to the third degree with contracture and all that. Another problem is that it's coming up amongst children. In fact, I went to, a Catholic hospital in Adazinuku. A whole ward was filled with children. In fact, last year we had almost 187 cases of Buruli ulcer in the country. And the staggering proportion is between 5 years to 14 years with contracture, whether the upper limb or the upper limb. So you see them, people don't, because of the stigma too, people tend to run away from them. Of course, the ones that are infected, the smell from the wound, you won't stand it. So people tend to run away from them. Maybe if the person touches you, you can give it. No, it's not transferable. It's not transferable. Buruli ulcer is not caused by any witchcraft. Buruli ulcer is preventable. If you are in those areas, if you are going out in the evening, wear long pants. Protect your skin. Personal hygiene is also very important. So if you notice any problem with your skin, you could come with a small boil. You go to the hospital at the early stage, they will take care of it. Buruli ulcer treatment is free. We should stop discriminating and stigmatizing people with Buruli ulcer. So it comes with a lot of negative bandwagon effects that leads to poverty.
What is the take-home message about prevention, about treatment, and where people can access care?
If you notice any white patches, unusual white patches on your skin, you look for it. Go to a dermatologist. They'll look at it. You go and start treatment on time. If you have a small boy, that could trigger to having a bigger wound, ulcer wound, Buruli ulcer, you go. If you have a wound on your leg, because if you don't dress it, that's why something is advisable. When you have a wound on your leg, dress it and cover it. If you leave it open, the microbacterium ulcerans could enter into that place and it triggers. If you're going out in the evening, you have a long pant. Protect yourself. But personal hygiene is very important. And then know that if you have anything that is new to your system, you go and seek for help. Don't think you can do it on your own. Don't go to wax because they complicate issues. Most people will have their hands and legs amputated. Those ones could be prevented. And it comes with a vicious circle. The same thing with leprosy. So awareness creation is very important. And then high index of suspicion, capacity building. Because we believe in it's not my portion until when it becomes your portion. So take home message. These diseases are preventable, they are curable, and the treatment is free. But we must try as much as possible to remove stigma and discrimination. It's a very big burden on the control of these three diseases.
Thank you for coming on the program. We appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time and thank you for your patience.
Let's take it to our nutrition segment, an aspect of the program where we'll give you information about food items and fruits, their nutritional value to enable you make healthy choices.
The carrot is a root vegetable, usually orange in color, though white, purple, and other varieties of colors do exist. People have been eating carrots for over 5,000 years. The plant, according to researchers, originated in the Middle East and Afghanistan. Carrot was originally cultivated for its leaves and seeds. Carrot is a nutrient-dense root rich in antioxidants, fiber, beta-carotene, other vitamins and minerals. Consumption of carrots is good for vision, promotes hair growth, weight loss, regulates blood pressure, lowers cholesterol levels, and helps eliminate toxins from the liver.
Come with me to our clinical segment for tips on healthy living.
It's very good that maybe when you think you have a slight headache or maybe proper headache, the first thing to do is to check your blood pressure. If you're above 30, check your blood pressure. If your blood pressure is not high, take some rest. When you take some rest and the headache persists, maybe take paracetamol or consult your pharmacist. Most of the pharmacies where you go to pick up this paracetamol, you find your pharmacist and say, oh, I have headache. Even if you can't measure your blood pressure from wherever you are, your pharmacist could help you to measure the blood pressure and then advise you on what to do. No, headache may be the first symptom of an underlying disease. It may still come out of stress. So that's why I have prescribed that first of all, you check your blood pressure, then take some rest. And if there is no other symptom, like as we say, if there's no other symptom like maybe fever, maybe sometimes you find that after a good rest and a cup of water, you're fine and good. But if not, then get to your pharmacist. If maybe you don't improve and the headache persists, as we'll always say, you consult your healthcare provider.
We value your contributions on our perception segment on how to improve human lives and the nation's health sector. You can participate by calling the numbers shown on your screen.
Recently, there's I think you have a fiscal control on taxation on tobacco and non-alcoholic beverages and so on and so forth. And also that is on the part of the government. And I also believe that the money that is going to be generated, that just like the minister said, is going to be plowed back to the system to make sure that we control non-communicable diseases.
Thanks for spending your time with us. Please join us same time next week for another interesting edition of the program. Don't forget to support the program by advertising your health products and services. My name is Osho Mowa Danis.